guys and gals. Thought I would do a quick video about a different topic than normal. I'm planning a motorcycle trip this year, and I'm going to go into some of the things that we're doing and talk a little bit about the trip. I'm getting pretty excited. It's coming up here in the June timeframe. But first, before I get into that, as I'm scrolling through here, shout out to my buddy Rob, who's going to bust my stones for doing these YouTube videos. But love you, buddy. And just going to make sure that the content on here is things that I like. And my whole purpose of this channel is to hopefully inspire others to, find their passion, whether it's trucks or motorcycles or trips, and basically to be able to enjoy your time, outside of work and everything that we do in life and how busy it is. So anyway, to move forward, to get into what you guys hopefully can see on my screen, um, this route that's highlighted on here is one of these routes called the Cross PA Adventure Trail. And I didn't know this honestly existed. I'm a Pennsylvania resident my whole life. I live up in the Poconos region, down here by where 380 and 80 kind of meet together. And I lived for a long time down, or for quite a while down in Berks County, in south central Pennsylvania as well. But I didn't know that this trail existed. And when I first heard about it, the idea of a trip with my father and my brother came up. And if you guys wouldn't know this, but back in 2015 timeframe, we were crazy enough to take little scooters, Vespas, from Pennsylvania and ride all the way down the Blue Ridge Parkway to Deals Gap, into Tennessee and back, 2,500 plus miles in 5 days in all kinds of rain and weather. And we had a fun time, but it was a heck of a trip on a little tiny Vespa. So the idea for this trip came along that we would buy real small dirt bikes or 70cc bikes, and we would ride across the state. Well, long story short, my daughter heard that I was thinking about doing this trip, and she's soon to be 15 years old, and she wanted to go along. So that leads me to the picture you guys saw when I opened up. I went on Facebook and Marketplace and all kinds of different forums, and I ended up buying a Honda. This is a 2022 Honda NC750X, and I ended up putting some accessories on it. It came with the skid plate on the bottom here, the crash bars on the side, hard plastic bags, which I'll show you guys in a second, and the bark busters and other things that were on here, and kind of outfitted it a little more for dirt road riding than trails, I guess. The trail that goes across the state is not crazy adventurous unless you want it to be. There's sections you can go through that are rocky and require a lot of different things, but the main route isn't quite as technical. It's more of fire roads and those sorts of things, and this bike will do great in that. So since getting it, I put a GPS, which you can see up here in the top, onto the bike. I wired in more ports to charge devices while we're going. This is a neat bike. It's got a trunk in it, and I think that's unique for motorcycles. The gas tank actually sits under the seat. But then to go on, and I apologize for the dog barking in the background. To go on, I put knobbier tires on front and rear, something to make it a little more stable on the trail. So what's unique about this trail, this Cross PA Trail, is it leaves from up by Milford, Matamoros area in northeastern Pennsylvania, and it rides a mix of very single lane back roads, not many that are that have yellow lines even on them, and it meanders through fire roads and trails and other types of roadways as it works its way across the entire state of Pennsylvania. It's roughly 625 miles out. And then coming back, we're going to ride back roads, but we're going to make it that a little more spirited and less trail coming back. But we're planning on doing this trip probably 4 days out, so we can take our time and camp and enjoy, and then probably 2 days back, maybe a third, depending on weather. And like I said, we're targeting to do this the third week in June, and looking forward to it. And have some other people that are interested and people that are going to be tagging along. So the more the merrier for us. But I think it's going to be neat to camp and do those sorts of activities. So with with that being said, I wanted to walk through this type of adventure and just say that there's a lot that exists in Pennsylvania, and there's other states that have similar trails, and I'd like to take advantage of this before they don't exist, right? So you hear, my father and others talk about the roads and the different adventures that they had back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, and the U.S. has become more and more populated, and a lot of this type of riding and these types of adventures have gone by the wayside. So before this is non-existent, wanted to do this trip. Later, I'd like to do the Transcontinental Trail, and you guys can read about that. And I'd like to eventually do that if I get enough time to take off from work and everything to do that. But interesting trip we have planned. Like I have up on the screen here, this bike is what I'm going to be taking. I'm going to zoom out the bike that I'm zooming in here. My brother, I have a younger brother, 4 years younger than me. He bought pretty much the same bike. He found this from a gentleman up in Vermont. It's also set up with Navi tires, the hard luggage, and set up more for touring. He's going to bring his son along, so we went up there and picked that up. This is a couple years older than mine, but nonetheless, very nice bike, and will be very capable on the trail. And as I anyway, I'm very excited about this ride, and hope that it's something enjoyable. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about it as we plan to put this all together and go across the state. We'll be packing and taking camping gear, tents, all that, so I can show you the list of items here. So I'll bring that up. Um, on and on of the different things that I'm going to have packed on the bike, and really tents, sleeping bags, stoves to cook food, air pumps, all kinds of things you see on here. And I will pare this down by the time we leave. I plan on doing a dry run. Always do a dry run on your trips. Make sure all the bags and everything are mounted properly. And I'll be packing weight very low on the bike to try to keep the bike very safe. Been riding a long time, my whole life. I can't remember not riding dirt bikes and motorcycles and everything. I've owned a slew of motorcycles, and this channel will probably migrate into more motorcycles than truck stuff once summer hits, and maybe some videos about boats and those sorts of things. I love power sports, but anyway, um, motorcycles are one of my passion. I do have quite a few antique bikes right now, little Hondas, and then the two primary street bikes that I have, the 7C 750X that I showed you, and I also have a very limited series Moto Guzzi V9 bobber, which you see in the intro pictures, which I love as well. But yeah, I hope I can continue to bring some content to you guys and have discussions. I'm looking forward to that trip, but thought that I would do a little bit to show you about the bike, and hopefully I can show the video here where I'm talking and walk around the bike so you can see it. And then as the trip gets closer, I might do a video about all the different things packed on there, and maybe do a short trip, shakedown trip, and bring you guys along to show you all about that. I'm not one of these guys that's going to take and put a helmet cam on and document the whole trip. I want to get away from work and away from busy life, and it's not something that I'm going to do. But and I would encourage you guys to do the same thing. But I want to show you the things that I'm going to take with me, and the preparation that I go through to make sure that I'm prepared for just about any situation that would pop up. For example, you look through this list. One of the items that I will carry with me is a tire plug kit, air compressor kit to make sure if we have a flat, I can do roadside repairs, as well as tools and other things to make sure that I'm pretty self-sufficient, barring any major mechanical failures, that we can MacGyver something together to get to the closest motorcycle dealership or get to a safe location to get it back up and running the right way. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy some of the things on this channel, and I won't go too much longer. And have a great night, guys. Thank you.